Okay, so picking up from where we just left off, we now need to position everything and get started with our code. So let's move our chicks into the right position. Sorry, our eggs into the right position. Now we need to be specific about these positions because we need to move these eggs each time we reset our game. We need to move these eggs. So the way this is going to work is essentially we're going to have if our variable is 1, we're going to say it, not it, not it. If our variable is 2, we're going to say not it, not it. And if our variable is 3, we're going to say not it, it. Okay, so we're basically going to take this one, this position, this sprite, and either put it in the it position here, here, or here, and then move these guys accordingly, right? And so if position, if, the variable that we set is 2, I'm going to take chick and put it there, and I'm going to put this one here and this one there. If my variable is 1, I'm going to put chick here, and then I'm going to put empty egg 1, empty egg 2, and if my position is 3, I'm going to put chick here, and then go empty egg 1, empty egg 2. Okay, so basically these are going to go it, not it, not it, depending on, or some variation of that, depending on what is happening. So to do that, we need to be very specific about the positioning. So I'm going to set our hen and our chicken and our empty eggs into specific positions, okay? So I'm going to set this guy, and I've already sort of worked these out. So I'm going to go negative 122 and 47, okay? For the chick, I'm going to go 50 and negative 95. For the empty egg, I'm going to go, empty egg 1, I'm going to say negative 50, negative 95. And for the third one, I'm going to say 0 and negative 95. Okay, so now we've got these positions. So right now, chick is in the third position. Okay, empty egg is here, empty egg 1 is here, empty egg 2 is here. Okay, so this is currently the sort of the it position. And then depending on what our variable comes up as, I'm going to switch the position of these. But I'm going to do them all at the same time, so there'll be no indication to the viewer which is which. Okay? All right, hopefully that makes sense. Now, let's look back at our board here. So when we start this game, we've got to do 3 things, okay? And those all happen on start. So we can guess that that's going to be one of our, let's go back to our code here, that's going to be one of our events, right? So when we start a game, whatever that is, it's going to be, for our purpose, it's going to be the flag, okay? And it's got to do a couple things. It's got to tell the hen to do something, it's got to generate our random number, and then it's got to reset all of our positions, okay? So let's do those. So starting with our, we'll start here on our chick, okay? And we'll say when our flag is clicked, we're going to do a couple things. Actually, let's do them in the order that we see them here. So hen prompt. So let's go first to our hen. So I'm going to get rid of that and go to our hen. Okay. So when we're on our hen, we want to do a couple things when this is clicked. So first, we'll bring out this is when we start our game. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in whatever the hen has to prompt. Right. It says here, prompt, say click 1, 2, or 3 to find my chick. Okay. So sorry. So I'm going to go to my say, and I'm going to say, no, actually, we're not going to do it for 2 seconds because we're going to do it until the game starts. So I'm going to say press 1, 2, or 3 key to find my baby chick. Okay, that's going to be this piece here, and prompt. Okay, great. Next, generate a random number between 1 and 3 and assign it to a variable. Okay, so this can be done in one of 2 places. It can be done either on the hen or on the chick. And I think when I first did this, I did it on the chick, so I'm going to continue with that. So I'm going to go to the chick, and I'm going to say on events. When we start this, okay, we're going to set a variable. So I'm going to go down to my variables here, and I'm going to set my variable to, and I'm going to pick a random number between 1 and 3. I'm going to stick that in here. Okay, so set my variable to a random number between 1 and 3. Okay, and that's what we see here. Next, next. Reset all positions. Okay, so we can do that as well. Now, when I'm resetting positions, I've got to do a few things. I've got to reset the positions of my eggs. I've got to reset my costumes, right? Because if you remember in the game, if we're going to be doing this a couple times, we're going to be resetting the game when we started, and we're also going to reset the game if the chicken, or sorry, if you get it right, right? So say I click on my on 1 and that's correct. It says, yay, you found me, great, and then it resets. So we've got to have kind of a reset code as well. Okay, so we're going to be adding that in based on this here, and that also gets worked into this as well. Okay, so let's go back here. All right, once we have this variable set, and I'm going to turn on my variable so we can see it. So I'm going to click it on here. There's my variable. When I start this, it's going to set my variable to a number between 1 and 3, and it's going to prompt. Okay, so those things are happening. Next, we are going to now, let's look here. We now need to start thinking about this. If the variable is 1, 2, or 3, what do we do? Okay, and so we're going to be broadcasting the position that is sort of the it position of these 3. Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? We have to broadcast that. Okay, that's going to be an if statement. So let's go to our ifs. And it's going to be a little bit of a complicated if statement. So we've done, I think we've sort of done some if and some else ifs. So this is actually going to be even more complicated because we're going to have an if statement and then we're going to have another statement inside of that. Okay, and we'll look at what that means in a second. I'm going to bring this out because we're going to be putting this in here, but let's get to that in a sec. First, so we're saying if my variable is 1, do something. Okay, so let's see what if my variable, so I'm going to need to get this, my variable, and then my operator is going to be an equals. Okay, so if my variable is equal to 1, and I'm going to put that in here. Okay, so if my variable is 1, broadcast left. Okay, so then I'm going to go broadcast. Okay, I'm going to put broadcast, and this is going to be a new message. Okay, and it's going to be left position. Okay, left position. I'm going to take that and stick that in here. Okay, so if my variable is equal to 1, then broadcast left position. Here's where it gets a little more complicated because now I'm going to take this here and say in our else. So if it's this, do this. Otherwise, if it's, and I'm going to do a similar thing here, I'm going to go, I need this guy, and I need my variable again. Okay, so if my variable is equal to 2, then I'm going to broadcast another message, okay, and that's going to be center position. And finally, if it's none of those things, then what has to be 3, so I'm going to just go broadcast, right? It says if it's 1, then do this. Otherwise, if it's 2, do this. And otherwise, it has to be, because we only have 1, 2, or 3, it's got to be 3. So I'm just going to put, I don't have to put a explanation. I just have to say otherwise, do the following, which is going to be broadcast my third message, which is going to be a new message called right position. Okay, so far so good. All right, so now we have this happening. This won't change anything that we see, but it is going to broadcast some information for all the eggs and the hen to hear, which are going to be basically which of these is it. Okay, so if I run this, it says my variable is 1, and it just ran this. If my variable is 1, then broadcast left position. So left position should have just been broadcast. Okay, now who's listening for left position? Well, all the eggs are listening, right? The eggs are now waiting to be told which position is the it position. And when that happens, these need to move accordingly. Okay, that's this part. Where is that? Generate random here. Reset all positions and costumes, and then those positions have to get accordingly moved based on what this is. Okay, so we've got this here, reposition eggs accordingly. So now I've got to create a piece of code that says pay attention for, or these broadcasts. So listen for left position, center position, or right position, and accordingly move this, this, or this accordingly. Okay, so if my position is 1, then this is going to be the it position. So this, which is the chick with the hatchling in it, right? That needs to go into position 1. And these two need to go here and here. Okay, so let's go back. We're going to create a listener. And this is going to be, I'm putting this on the chick. Okay, this is the hatchling. So I'm going to have a when I receive left position. Zoom out a little bit here. Okay, when I receive left position, I'm also going to put these in here as well. When I receive center, and when I receive right position. Okay, so when I get these commands, I need to move accordingly to where I have to go. So when it's left position, I'm going to go here. When it's center position, I'm going to go here. And when it's right position, I'm going to go here, because these are the it positions. And this is the it chick, right? This is the it egg. Okay, so if you remember, these were negative 50 by, negative 50 and negative 95, 0 and negative 95, and 50 and negative 95. Okay, so right now it's in this position. When I receive left position, let's go to my motion, and I'm going to say here, go to, and this has to be negative 50 and negative 95. Okay, for left position, which is this. When I receive center position, I'm going to go to 0, which is 0 and negative 95. And when I receive right position, I'm going to go to 50 and negative 95. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way just for now. I'm going to undo this in a second. But when I click this, if this goes to 1, this egg should stay here. If it's 2, it should go here. If it's 3, it should go here. Okay, so let's run it. It's 1, so it's 1, 3. Okay, it just moved. Okay, all right, now can I undo those steps? I'm not trying to. I hope you understand. I'm not sure if you guys are following this. It is complicated, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys are with me still. And if not, you're gonna have to watch this a couple of times. Okay, let's reset everything. Put this guy back to, where was he? He was at 0. Okay. All right, so right now I've just put these back in the positions they were in. Right now, these pieces of code are repositioning this chick depending on which position has been set by the code. I'm going to take these and I'm going to copy them to each of these eggs, but I'm going to change what happens for each thing. So I'm going to click on this, copy, I'm going to go to empty egg, and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to paste it here. Same thing with this one. I'm going to click on this, copy, paste it there, and paste it here. And same with this one, copy, paste, and paste. Okay, so let's just neaten these up a little bit, because we're going to have to change them in a second. I'm probably going to have to change these in the next video, because I'm already down, I'm at 14 minutes already, which means I'm already coming to the end of this code. So let me just clarify what's happening. We, we start the game by clicking on the flag. The flag runs or sets a variable between 1 and 3. It broadcasts a position, and at this same time, each of these eggs is listening for the broadcast. If the broadcast is left position, it takes the chick and puts it into the left position, and accordingly moves these into the other two positions. If it's the center, it moves this to the center and moves these accordingly to the other positions. Okay, I'm going to pause that there. This is going to take another video. coming at you right after this.